Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dancers Doing Stuff. My name is Haley. If this is the first time you're watching, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, that is so cool. Today, I have a really cool episode for you guys. The craft is like maybe the most complicated one we've done. I don't know, the resin crafting, that was kind of crazy because that was like a little toxic chemical situation. This one is not toxic, but there's a lot of steps, and honestly I don't really know what I'm doing, so we're gonna figure it out, but it'll be fun. The guest today, okay, so these two dancers are amazing dancers on their own. I met them in New York before the whole world shut down. Marideth and Austin, they are so cool, so talented. They can do all styles. They are just incredible dancers. Well, you'll see. I mean, I'm sure you've seen because, as you probably know, they have joined forces in a union of love and TikTok, and they have been taking over social media, and it is just so cool to see someone like and respect and look up to in the dance world, and just like see them thriving and like living so much joy. They're just giving so much joy to the world, and like that is what we need so bad this year. So I'm just so excited and honored to have them as my guest today. You may know their TikTok, Costume Mayor, so definitely check it out. We're gonna obviously talk about that, and we're also gonna talk about just them as people, their dance career pre-TikTok, and what is this whole new dance in the digital world stuff. And I don't know, I'm just so excited. I'm gonna have to really rein it in because I have so many questions and I have to keep it to an hour. So as always, now that I've hyped them up, let's show a little video of them. I mean, it is so hard to pick one, but they sent me this one, so I'm going to share it. But literally go watch all their videos. Like, oh, so good. Okay, enough talking from me. Like, what? That's so fun. And like all of their TikToks are like real dancing, which I really respect too. So enough of me blabbing. Let's bring them in. Let's make sure I don't mute them. Give them a round of applause. Yay, I did it.
Well, thanks for
Amazing.
hyping us up.
We are so really excited to be here. Are you kidding?
Oh my gosh, yay, I'm excited too. So so this craft, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little scared of it.
No, I'm very scared.
I feel good.
I'll
I'm
be
the only one out of the
completely
three of us
honest
that
about
like feels pretty confident. Like
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it'll be good.
Okay.
Okay, if you're confident, then like I'll trust that. So basically, I wanted to do something because I know you guys are moving. We can say where eventually, but I know you guys are like, the pandemic is getting a little freer. Vaccinations are happening. You're going to be living in a place that's probably not your parents' house anymore. So I thought we could make like some artwork that you could have in your home. And then also, I wanted to do something that was like a TikTok related craft, because I know there's TikTok honestly scares me, and I know that there's like witch talk and like craft talk and like I don't know, probably like puppy talk, and then there's like the dance TikTok that like is more like our world. But I saw this wall art thing. So basically, what we have to do, this is like so many steps. We have a canvas. We're gonna paint half of it, then we're gonna stab holes in it in a cool design. Then we sew it. So let's just try. Okay, so I'm gonna like tape it, and so while we do this, if we're like mentally capable of doing this, I would love to hear a little bit about like your dance journey, like how you started dancing, so you guys can like take turns and tell me basically your whole life story.
We're actually using
casual
recycled canvases. We're gonna paint over.
But
Yeah, his mom.
Cute.
Shout out to my mom. She owns like her own little art business, and like has all these extra canvases.
And so
she
we
was
like always have
"Here,
stuff. How
have
cool,
these
right?
canvases."
That is so cool. And then that makes it even more meaningful. Oh my gosh, I love
Right.
that.
I know, right?
Full circle.
That's really cute. Okay, I'm doing just like a random diagonal line, I think. We'll see what happens. So yeah, tell me basically your entire life story. Casual.
Well, actually, we were just when you were like hyping us up so beautifully in the intro, we were actually like talking, in the shadows, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, how crazy that Haley like knew both of us separately before we were like together."
Yeah.
And like we always do, we do like podcasts and interviews like a lot these days, and it's funny because it's not people that like have known us separately, but how cool that like it's not just like you don't know just like Cost and Mare, like both of us individually, which is so cool.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. I remember the first time I saw you guys like walking down the street by Gukaku, and I was like, oh my gosh, like is something brewing there? Maybe.
Oh my gosh, we actually when we were just in New York, we ate there and like reminisced, and it was the best.
It was so great.
I miss it so much.
But yeah.
Where you're both from different places, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
I'll go first. Yeah, so I'm actually from a small little town called Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. It's like right in between the capital, which is Harrisburg, and Lancaster, which is known to be Amish country.
Yes, I was gonna say it sounds very like Victorian of you to be from there.
Yeah, a little bit.
It is.
I'm not Amish, so I'll start there.
Good to know that on the record, not Amish, for all the people wondering. I know that was a common question you always get.
Right.
It is. No, it
we
really,
get swamped with Amish questions.
But I moved to, I started dancing when I was 9 years old because my mom actually, I always use the word forced, but it was like a good kind of
She had me in a chokehold.
She threw wow. No, but because I used to play like baseball and t-ball with my dad because he was the coach. And there was one day where we got to like the baseball, t-ball tryouts, but I showed up to the tryouts in like full tears because I knew that I didn't want to do it anymore, but I was afraid to tell my dad that I didn't want to do it anymore. So I just came clean and I was like, Dad, I don't want to do this, like freaking out. And he was like, okay, cool, that's fine. And then like for the next like month or two, I was becoming a pain in the butt to my mom, and she was like, okay, we need to find something for you to do. And she signed me up for a triple threats class.
And Shotty's been a triple threat ever since.
Wow.
Who is he?
From the jump, a triple threat. No way.
Right. But so whoops, that was a lot of pain. So yeah, that's how I started. I was in this triple threats class, and I came out of the class, and I immediately asked my mom to sign me up for every style they offered. So I jumped into hip hop and tap and jazz and ballet and everything because I literally instantly fell in love with it and literally have not stopped since. I started teaching like little tiny kids at like 16, and that's kind of when I knew that dance was what I wanted to do with my life. So I took that opportunity to just go headstrong into it, and my mentor at the time took me under his wing and really started training me and teaching me like basics and foundations. And I moved to New York in 2017. Yeah, 2017. And been living there for the past 3 years, minus this last year because of the pandemic. But
right.
But yeah.
Awesome.
So thanks to my mom for taking this rando dance studio in our town and just saying, you're doing this.
Or else,
literally.
Yeah. And I feel like that's not typically like the thing like, that people do for boys, which is like a shame. Right. It's like that's not like, oh, you don't want to do t-ball. It's like, okay, we're gonna find another sport. We're gonna stick to
exactly
boy stuff.
I've always said that too. That literal same thing, Haley. That like when I first heard his story, I was like, Wow, that's so different. Like, that's
Yeah.
a unique.
And that's how it should be. I mean, I think nowadays it's a little bit more like that, but probably when we were all growing up, it was just a little,
Right.
the world wasn't as woke as it needed to be, and it still has a
Right.
long way to go. But
Shout out to your mom for being woke.
No, literally. And then,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
but she's got the canvases, she's got the
I know.
impetus to
She
put you in
literally-
dance. Like, she should be on the show.
Right.
no, truly. Truly. But like right at that age, I was also doing like community theater too. Like my mom and dad knew the director like very well, and we had like a good family, friendship with him. So
And
I
you
was
were a
doing-
triple threat, so I mean,
right. So like,
So, I mean,
why
the world
wouldn't
wasn't
I?
always-
what else
Why-
were you gonna do? I mean, it was just written in the cards.
Truly.
That is so-
Amazing. Meredith, when did you start dancing?
This is one of my favorite stories.
I
It's so
have a
funny.
pretty non-traditional background too. Non-traditional just because I'm like an idiot. But I didn't start dancing until I was 14, which is like super, super late for dancers. I know. So
I had
it's
no idea.
yeah, I have like no technique. It's wild. So
Oh my gosh, whatever.
but I started late in life, but I always like people are like, so why would you start when you were 14? Like, what made you want to start? Because I played soccer for like 10 years. Just a heads up with this painting, you might want to like do a two-tone.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is what I have so far. I'm letting it kind of dry. But like, no pressure to copy. Make it your own. You're your own artist. I mean, that's pretty solid black, which like, if that's your vibe, like, I'm here for it.
How about this? Wait, I have a brief pause while I give us an option. How about we both do full black? Here, I'm giving you an idea. How about
You
we
gotta
both
have it match for the house. Like, it's gotta
Yeah, it's a
gotta
set.
look good. Yeah, a set. Yes.
So I'll do all black and you do all black, and then we'll take the white and we'll take this little sponge and maybe we can do a corner of it, like two different corners of it, like heathered, if you will.
Okay.
Do you like that
Heather.
idea?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I don't have a choice.
I've never heard of that word before. To heather.
Like heathered gray, like heather gray, like
Oh,
I need to paint the
I don't know how to describe
like
that.
I think I get it.
So I started dancing when I was 14. I played soccer for 10 years. I was a real sporty chick, and but I always was that kid that just like was obsessed with like putting on shows for my family. But I was never like married to one type of performance. Like I wasn't really a dancer, so I would put on a lot of different shows. I was kind of like a one-woman variety act.
So
Like-
you're also a triple threat, is what you're saying.
I
it
was
was
like
more than
it was like a
triple.
quintuple thing. I had no boundaries. Like I did magic, I did puppets, I was out there. I'm pretty sure I had some like miming experiences. Like I really went for it. I was just, like,
I love it.
I wanted to be a magician for a really
She still kind of wants
long.
to.
I still kind of want to. That's like my fault.
Honestly, same. Honestly, same.
But I was like really into it. Loved a one-woman comedy act. I just like put on shows for my family all the time, so I was like always very like drawn to performance. But then I just like loved watching dance. Like I loved watching dance on YouTube. Like my whole life, I just loved watching it. And a lot of my friends dance, and like a lot of close family friends dance. We would always go like watch them at their recitals and competitions and stuff. And I would always be like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like I felt so alive watching it. And so I would always be like, oh my gosh, when I grow up, I want to be a professional dancer. And when anybody would ask me, I'd be like, oh, I want to be a professional dancer. And they'd be like, do you dance? And I'd be like, no. I should probably get around
Makes so much
to
sense.
learning how to do
Yeah,
that.
it's
if I
like
could do it professionally.
slightly part of something that you might need to know.
So
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take some classes. So I auditioned for a hip hop company. So all of my like bass training is like very, very foundational hip hop, which I probably took for granted at the time because I didn't really know how like valuable and like rare that is to have like very
Yeah.
foundational training. But I think it set me off on a really, really good path. I was so passionate about it. I still am. And it was history from there. I decided I wanted to be a versatile, well-rounded queen. So I went to college for dance and did all the technical things. I did a bunch of theater and blah, blah, blah. And then moved to New York.
Here she is.
Here I am.
The multifaceted,
the
technical queen
multifaceted
she
magician
is.
comedy show queen.
I love it. Amazing. And so you both, Austin, did you do ProSem? Or did you
didn't.
just, you're like one of the people who, one of the
Exactly. I
4 people in New York who didn't do ProSem. But I know, Marideth, you did ProSem, right?
I did.
Yeah, that's how I kind of moved to New York. I always am really impressed with people who moved to New York with like no program to do. Like, wow, that is very impressive.
Not one.
I know. I say the same thing. I would have been like floundering without it, I think. But
I was still floundering. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm still floundering right now. I'm just a straight up flounder, honestly. But yeah, that's so interesting. And so, what was your, so you can both answer this separately unless it's the same. What was your first like professional experience in New York? And I say professional experience, not job, because I know sometimes we don't get paid for professional things that we should be paid for. So I say experience, not job, because you can count non-paid experiences.
I love that.
That is very true.
Because that's so true. I feel like
Very
as a
true.
dancer, like most dancers do so many professional grade things before you do like jobs that you're actually getting paid for.
And sometimes the jobs that you get paid for are the least professional of the experiences that you've had.
That is literally
The beauty
so
of the
ridiculously
industry.
true.
Yeah.
You want? I'll send it back to you.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Oh, must be nice.
Professional.
No, that's not what I mean.
That was 8 years ago. My first one.
It's literally me being an oldie and me not being able to remember. The first year I moved?
Well, the first job, it doesn't have to be the first year unless you're like a baller like that and you like were working out the food. I wasn't.
I definitely don't think I was.
Well, I guess.
It could also be like your most memorable. It doesn't have to be like your first.
I mean, I honestly think that the first one was going to be when I did Dead Man's Party with Teresa Stone at Six Flags. Because that was like that was the first year that she like took over as choreographer and like literally brought on a whole new cast and like
what a powerhouse cast that was too.
That like I just remember like I literally remember at the time I was working at DSW, like the shoe store on 34th Street. And I remember getting like a literal text from Teresa like while I was at my shift at DSW being like, hey, if you haven't heard yet, like we're still looking for guys for this show that I'm doing at Six Flags. Like, can you please submit? And I'm like, yes. If Teresa Stone calls you, you answer Teresa Stone. That's just like one of the entire dance industry.
I would do anything. I think if Teresa told me to eat a worm, I would probably do it. I would do anything. I think she's the coolest person in the whole world.
So, I mean, I just, like, again, remember that moment of her, like, reaching out, being like, we need guys, please submit. And I did. And it's, everyone always talks about, like, even when Marideth did it her first year, everybody always talks about, like, the audition and, like, having to, like,
oh my God,
pick a song and, like,
the most
lip-sync it.
extensive audition I have ever experienced. It literally lasted, like, 10 hours.
But, like,
I was...
you had to lip sync in the audition?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, because you
had to do
show.
a whole solo song. Like they're literally
but you didn't have to sing. You just had to lip sync.
No. You have to pick a song on the spot. We've never talked about this in an interview, but it's so interesting.
It is.
Literally they narrow it.
Essentially, like letting out some like deep stuff. This is tea.
But literally they narrow it down to like, I don't know, like maybe like it's like the last 10 people, or maybe it was like the last like however many boys, however many girls.
Right, because there's 11 in the cast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But so some of them weren't there, was the thing.
True,
like,
well,
at least when I was doing it, I came on the second, for people that obviously don't know what we're talking about. Dead Man's Party is a, let me back up a little bit. Dead Man's Party is a dance show that they put on at Six Flags Great Adventure. But it's
Halloween.
like, it's like very, very, I think, like, high quality fun.
Yeah.
It's like
it's not just a theme park show. Like, it is a dance theatrical performance.
Yeah, it's literally like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And like I feel like when we say it's a theme park show, people are like, "Oh, hee haw, theme park show." But like so physically demanding, and the audition process was as demanding. So basically, half the cast when I was auditioning like wasn't there because they were already like recontracting some people that had, I guess, were either
did it the year
direct,
prior,
like
or,
directly coming across from the year before, or they were like taking submissions from them to do it again or something. So there were some people that weren't there. So there were like 10 of us left.
Right.
And they like do all of these rounds. So many rounds. I literally remember doing so many rounds of the choreography and then them being like, line up. And we would all line up. And they would like talk, and then they'd have people step forward, and then they tell people to leave. And then we'd do more rounds, and then we'd line up, and then they'd talk, and then they'd tell people to leave. And it was like so many hours. And then we took a break, and then there was like 10 of us left. And they're like, okay, take the next 2 minutes, pick a song you know the words to pretty well. We're going to go one at a time. You're going to come up. You're going to do a full solo lip sync one at a time. I was literally like,
oh my God. And they didn't tell you that ahead of time, that would be part of the process?
oh no. They said you have 2 minutes to pick go.
I would like, I don't know any songs. I don't know words. I forget
know. I was
everything.
literally like, what is music?
But all of that to say that I didn't go, like, both years, I did it the first year and the second year. Both years, I submitted a video and didn't have to go through that, like, lengthy
And
process.
I literally hate him for it. He didn't have to do it at all. And it was so brutal.
But
Oh
I
my
was
God.
very fortunate enough to, like, that she reached out and said, please, like, you know, send me this, this, and this. Here's the choreo.
Blah,
like,
blah,
learn it,
blah,
send it.
blah.
But like, it was still pretty extensive because, like, you know, Teresa, like, she's a hard
Well,
head.
it
like,
wasn't as extensive as being there
but
for
it
10
was
hours.
still okay. But it was still. She sent me the choreo. She said, I'm gonna send it to you at like 4 o'clock. I'll be expecting your like video at like 5.
And
Oh,
that was like like learning things from video. Like now it's like it's so much more common and easier to learn from video with like dance world being virtual, and then also like TikTok taking
Back
over.
then,
like
it was a little hard.
that is so true.
Yeah,
That
back in my day, we didn't have video.
Right.
We
All of that to say that I think that was probably like my most memorable, like, you know, favorite performance like experience that I've had.
Yeah, I would say that for me too, even though like that was basically me telling my half the story too. But that was my first like big girl, I'm getting paid for this job. My first like professional thing where I was like feeling like, wow, self, you are in a professional environment and you can tell because you're really struggling, was a video shoot that I did, and you'll relate to this because you did ProSem. But it was I had me and my roommate Mackenzie. We were both asked to do this video shoot, like obviously no paid, no budget concept shoot. And it was in Brooklyn, and it was the morning of the ProSem show, like the final show where the agents are coming, the creme de la creme moment that you've been building up.
my God.
Like, you know, we're like young New York professionals. We're not going to say no to an opportunity. So we're like, of course we'll do it. So we get up at like 5 a.m. We go all the way to Brooklyn, get like halfway lost in Brooklyn, find the video shoot. We learn all the choreography when we get there. We shoot for like 4 hours. Then we leave and go like straight to get ready for the ProSim show, do the whole show. And that was like, that day I was so exhausted, but I was like, I'm a working dancer. I'm working my fingers to the bone. But
Yeah.
it was like really one day.
Yeah.
But it was
No. It's funny how I feel like that's changed a little bit, at least in this year, of like glamorizing the hustle and the grind and the like starving artist mentality. I feel like having this pause because of the pandemic has really shifted the way people have thought. And I know, at least for me, I'm like, I don't want to live uncomfortably and unhappy and like stressed out. Like, there are ways to be a professional dancer and not be like pulling your hair out, eating ramen noodles all the time.
That is so, we talk about that stuff all the time, and it's literally crazy. Sometimes I think about even the fact that, I don't know, it's so crazy to think about the stuff we used to do. And like, yeah, I relate to that so much. Having the time to slow down has like put so many things into perspective. It's literally insane. Not to say that I wouldn't take class at 9 p.m., but even sometimes now I look at the clock and it's like 9:30, and I'm like, can you imagine that sometimes we would just be finished warming up for class?
Literally.
Like, we used
even
to
just like taking taking class because you feel like you have to take class, but maybe you don't really want to be taking class, or maybe that class is not actually going to be teaching you anything. You're just there because you know that's where the popular people are, and so that you think you have to be there too, but really that's not the place that's gonna benefit you as a dancer, because we are all different types of dancers. We shouldn't all be trying to be the same type of dancer, so we shouldn't all be taking the same class.
It's like you have these conversations with us. No, it's like
I do. I'm actually at your house right now.
I think you are. I like would believe it. But we talk about that all the time. Just like being removed from that mindset, like, and like looking back at your old life, like from the third person perspective, being like, what?
Right.
Like it's
Like,
crazy to think about, like, the mind. I agree with you that it's like it's gonna have to shift so much, because now that everybody has like stepped out of the whole mind game of it long enough to be like, what is actually going on? Like, I feel like my whole entire perspective on the entire industry is like completely different now. Like it's literally crazy. I think it'll be though.
Yeah, I hope that things, I mean, now things are kind of opening up. BDC is like half open and things are, I get worried that things are just gonna like jump back to what we know because it's comfortable and easy. But I really hope that like we can all take time and
there's a like a switch up, like
I agree.
Like a kick in the butt to like do something different.
I think there will be, at least for a while.
Yeah, and I mean for you guys it must be so different because you have literally been able to create your entire own opportunities. You guys have like really created and set up something so sturdy for yourself, which is like so cool. Like you don't have to please other people. You can kind of be in control of your creative artistic path now, and like all just because of like some crazy dances. Like, I mean, I don't know if like we'll get into this maybe after we play our first game, because I know that this is going to open a whole door of just I have so many questions. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so cool that you can really take control of your path, and everyone's path is different. I know they say that so much, you know, like every class you've been to, every like master's seminar and workshop and program, they always say like your path is your own, and like, you know, but I don't think it really felt like that until everything shut down. It felt like, okay, maybe for people who are privileged with this, or they have this connection, or they have this extra money lying around, they can do what they want and make a path. But it's true, like you can really, like, if you put your whole heart into it and you really are authentic to yourself, I think that this year has really shown that you can create something for yourself. So I love that, and
that's so cool.
Boom. I know no TikTok moves. So let's check on how's your paintings going? Like, how's the set? Mine is a little streaky, but I think it's okay. Good. I think I might be able to remove the tape. This might be like a satisfying moment. And then, let's see. Hopefully it's not too early. Ooh. ASMR.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, that was a great tape pull, so I'm very proud of myself. That's my achievement of the year.
I like that, though. That's a good idea.
You like the vision?
Oh, I see it.
I'm trying to adjust it in the camera so that I can see it. Sorry, that was weird.
No, it looked like the little Kim dance move thing. So what design are you guys going to be stabbing into your canvas? Do you know?
I think we're going to do a rendition of this. Rendition is the key word.
Very key there.
You have a lot of really great words today. Ooh, very funky, very fresh. I love that.
So
some faces.
And one half will go on mine.
Ooh, I like that. I was thinking of doing like some leaves, maybe.
Oh, I love that.
I don't really know, but I didn't really I don't have a reference picture. But before I do that, let's actually play our first game. So this game is really fun, especially for the viewers. You guys can participate in this. It is Would You Rather? So I let everyone know ahead of time. Don't worry, it's nothing too crazy. It's a pre-made game. So, but I've actually started to run out of them. Like, I've used them so many times that I think I'm going to have to get people to, like, submit Would You Rather questions because I'm
That'll be
running
fun.
out. But I'm a little worried because I feel like people get a little crazy with Would You Rather. So, I don't know. But we'll keep it,
Yeah,
we'll keep it PG-13. Yeah, sometimes it can get really crazy. So, I'm going to randomly pick and see what we get. And you guys can both answer separately, obviously, because you're both two individual humans. So, would you rather never be able to open your mouth or have to spell out words when you speak instead of being able to say complete words? Interesting that they're both about words in your mouth.
Yeah.
I would definitely go for spelling before I'd go for saying nothing at all.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
think so,
gosh,
too.
I'm a talkaholic. I could never literally shut up. I would die. I would die.
I think I would have to spell out the words too. That's just to never speak.
I'd learn sign language and have to hack it because I wouldn't have to spell, and I can't spell.
Look
Oh
at
my
you.
gosh.
I spelled my name really wrong that time, though. Haley.
Oh,
Little secret I have. Yeah, no, I think I would also pick that. Well, I mean, it would help me. My spelling is atrocious, so maybe having to spell would really just, be like a constant tutor.
Right.
That's
Do you
true.
guys have any words that, like, no matter what, you spell wrong and they're, like, really easy words and, like, autocorrect still
Oh my
can't
gosh.
even fix it?
Opportunity.
Definitely.
Calendar for me. It's so weird. I don't know why every time I mess up calendar and I mess it up so wrong, autocorrect doesn't even know what I'm trying to say.
Opportunity is another
I
one for me,
cannot
though.
do opportunity, and we have to say it in emails all the time, and I'm always for one. Opper, oppor,
I just don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Rough. It's rough. Spelling's rough.
It's so
Okay.
weird.
Ooh. Would you rather have to crawl everywhere like a lizard or never be able to close your eyes?
That's really hard. I don't think that I could crawl everywhere like a lizard. I think that I would want to live my life with my eyes open forever.
Would it be painful though? Would they dry out?
Good luck crawling around like a lizard with your back. That's what
I don't know. I already got bad eyes. I had to go change my glasses before this interview. Are you kidding?
I'm going eyes open.
I might go lizard.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to pick eyes open, but I'm lucky that I don't have contacts or anything. So I just stock up on, and as long as it's dark. I mean, some people do sleep with their eyes kind of open. Like I've had sleepovers with people and their eyes are like a little open in the night. You get up.
I just can't imagine.
I know, but I guess we'd learn to live with it.
I have too many eye problems.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like,
We're
you'd be like a fish,
Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna be an awful wonky dance
Mind
duo with you as a
blown.
lizard.
Lizards with red eyes. Okay, last one. Would you rather have a giraffe neck or fingers for toes?
Let me weigh each option for a second. I have really long fingers. I guess this is a technicality, but I wonder if it would have to be my fingers or if I could pick whose fingers, because like I've got some friends with some really short fingers. But I have
my neck.
I have very big hands. Oh, girl.
I have freaky fingers. But honestly, my toes are as long as my pinky finger. So like I kind of already have finger toes.
I kind of have finger toes also. You don't get to say anything about my finger toes. that requires no agreeing or disagreeing.
Silence.
I don't
Pick your
know.
finger toes.
Giraffe neck might be kind of helpful.
Right.
I could finally see Candace Brown at the front of the room.
I'm so dead. I'm so dead.
I could stand back row but still see. I'm going giraffe neck.
I think I might go giraffe neck too. I'm trying to take class the best way I can.
Wow. Yeah, and like you could always see if someone was coming, and you would never get lost in a crowd. Times
You
could,
Square, who
see
is
over
she?
fences too.
Showering's gonna be different.
You would have to have a very tall apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it's like the winter,
You okay with it?
custom turtlenecks too.
Mm-hmm. And like
That neck's gonna get cold.
But wouldn't you also need custom shoes if you had fingers for toes?
not me and Haley.
No. Yeah, we already have that.
Those would be some long shoes, y'all.
I'll just like go half
only
a size.
only if you're getting like those toe shoes, you know, for like those people who like run with those. Oh, that freaks me out.
That freaks me out.
I don't like that one bit. No way. Not a fan.
Not for
Yeah,
me.
I'm sticking giraffe.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So this has never happened before, but we have a would you rather submission from the
I love
audience. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. It says, would you rather go briefly into the past to meet and talk to your great great grandparents, or go into the future? Oh, it went away before I could read because I am a slow reader. Or go into the future and meet and talk to your great great grandkids.
That is such
Oh
a
my
good
gosh.
one.
Wow, bubble wrap, you killed that.
Wow.
I want to
That's
go.
hard.
I would want to go talk to my great great grandparents and impart wisdom. I feel like I have no wisdom to impart yet. Like I would be doing my great great grandchildren a disservice by like, or at least like right now.
I feel like I'd also like mess it up. Like I'd be thinking all the time, like, what if I do something to mess up this future life?
Yeah.
Because now I know. But in the past, I could just know.
Right.
I
Like,
definitely
that's
go.
already happened.
Yeah,
Huh.
I'd go past.
I think I'd go past too. That's really
That's a
good
really
though.
good
That's
question.
a really good one. I
Really
love that. Wow, I'm saving that one.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Okay. How is your painting going? How's it? What's
Yeah,
going on with
pretty
it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Every-
yeah. I'm going to attempt to like doodle some leaves and then just like stab it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then let's see what happens.
Here's a pencil.
Do you need to? We need to make sure that you're doing yours the right way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if we're doing it, how are we doing
Oh,
it?
because it has to connect.
Right. It was like
Wait.
don't mind us.
It was like wait.
No, because mine was still
Wait,
over
I like
here.
this.
I'm
that
gonna do
wrong?
mine like this.
Hang on 1 second. This is not how we had it before.
That's how we had it before.
Which one do you like better?
I think I like the up and down.
This one?
Yeah.
So yours will go on top and mine will be this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep it like
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. Okay. Are you gonna do this one or that
Yes.
one?
The top one.
Delete these two. So like if you're gonna do that one
Delete.
here, just finish your line. You know what I mean? Like don't do that or that.
Okay.
So now which one do you want? Still the other one? They're pretty much the same.
Yeah, I guess they kind of are. I'll do the top one.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
I'm doing some really basic, ugly looking, like, leaf things, but I'm hoping that in the embroidery it looks maybe cooler.
I think it'll look great. I feel like you're
With
very
the white, though.
artsy. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. I just don't know. But okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk TikTok. My very first question. I feel stupid. I know I should be able to figure this out. And I think you know what my question is going to be. Cost and Mayor. Clearly, Mayor is Marideth, Cost is Austin.
Yes.
This is my deduction, okay? This is what I've been racking my brain.
Oh my gosh, I love that you're gonna guess.
This-
No
we've
one
never had
ever
this before
guesses.
either.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I have been working through this since your first post. So, Marideth, Mayor, and then I don't know where the last part comes, but I feel like it's because it's Mayor. It sounds kind of like mayor if you say it slow, Mayor. Yeah. Then Austin, Costin, Aust. I don't know where the C comes from because your last name starts with a T. And Meredith's last name starts with a B. So maybe there's a secret because of your middle name or something. Or maybe it's just not that deep. And I'm just bored because of the pandemic. And I need to do some...
Like, you're totally on the right track.
You really are.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So,
Okay. Lay it on me because I can't handle it anymore.
You really killed that. We actually we get this. This is like our number one asked question literally ever, and we're always kind of we totally get why it confuses people because what the heck does that even mean? But we're always confused. Like at least you deducted who is who. Like people always ask us which one is which, and we're always like even if you don't get it, I feel like you could deduct that mayor is mayor and Frost is Frost.
Yeah. Because I think also because I know people call you Mare as a nickname. So I was like, oh, duh, that makes sense. And then Ost, Cost, it sounds very similar.
Right. Yeah, break off piece of the story.
So when we were in New York, and still to this day, we love playing cards. We play all kinds of card games and stuff, but we're also very competitive. So we obviously keep score of who's winning and who wins. And so we were in the park one day, and we were, playing card games, and we always keep the tally on our phones, on the notes app. So one of us opens says hey Siri, make a note that says Aust and Mayor. And she goes, okay, making a note that says Cost and Mayor.
Because those are words.
Because those are actual words.
Yeah. Oh my God, so it's Siri.
And so when she said that in a little Australian setting that we have accent on our phones, we just thought that was
hilarious.
The funniest thing ever. And so when it got to the moment of us deciding on making a TikTok together, we were
let's just call it
let's just go with Cost and Mayor.
Because that's always what the top of our little note said.
Right, all of our notes that keep tally and points, it always just says Cost and Mayor.
Oh my God.
That's
I love that.
You did, yeah.
You had it. It's just our name.
Okay. Cool. It was just the AI is what got me, But just being a human, it was enough.
Right.
If I had been an AI, I would have really understood. Oh my God. Okay, so that leads me to my next question. What made you guys start a joint TikTok? When did that happen? What was the birth of this grand journey for you?
The birth? Well, you relate to this because you're a dancer and went through a pandemic too, but the first week or so was a cute break. We were working our fingers to the bone like we were talking about, and the pandemic was on. I remember when everyone had that moment oh, maybe it'll be kind of nice, finally take some time for ourselves. So I said, well, obviously we were in New York. I can backtrack a little bit, but we were in New York, and I said, oh, let's just go stay with my family for 2 weeks. It'll be nothing but a thing. We'll just take a little vacation. We'll come right back. Also, at this point, we'd only been dating for 2 months. So we pack our bags and we go to North Carolina, which is obviously where we literally sit right now, a year later. But we went to North Carolina. We had our cute little 1 week break. And then after that, it started getting old really, really quickly. And we were kind of being bums and sort of similar to Ost's mom and his origin story. My mom was okay, you guys really have to do something. You're wasting away in my home. And we were you're pretty right. And she was well, all those kids are doing the TikTok these days. You guys can dance. Why don't you just try that out? And we were that's so stupid, Mom. We're professionals. We're not the kids. And we got desperate enough and we tried it. All because my mom said that we needed to get off our butts.
So did you start off doing the pre-made, the pre-popular TikToks, or did you just from the jump make your own dances?
Oh no, we started doing the popular TikToks. Totally. We did the popular ones, we did the popular songs. We didn't do too many before we started because when we were trying to learn them, you know, we've got the dancer brains that are like, oh, well, like, what if we threw this in? And oh, what if we like did this little locking section at the end because that would be so cute with this music and yada yada yada. And we started slowly but surely like adding our own little flair to trends, and that's what like people were noticing. Like our very first video that got over 1 million views, it honestly was probably like in our first 10 videos. Like it happened pretty fast.
Yeah, it did.
But it was us doing a dance trend that we hadn't made up, but we added like these like walking like witchaways at the end, and people thought that was really funny because it was just like tacked onto a trend they recognized. And so then from then on out, because people were recognizing all the stuff that we did that wasn't the trend, we were just like, what are we doing? Like, let's just say screw it. We're professional dancers. Like, let's just.
Why would we not just
share our own work?
Right.
So then we started doing all our stuff, and that's when it really like. That's when we had a niche. You know what I mean? Like that was like you knew what you did before, and you knew we kind of got a brand after that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We started becoming like a thing that was recognizable, I guess, more or less. But
when was like the time where you first realized like, oh, like this is gonna be a thing? Like was it quick, or were you guys like still kind of in the mindset like this is just fun and funny and something to do during this pandemic, or were you like, oh wait, like we could actually make something of this, like this could be a thing?
I don't know. What came first, or was it the very first ad we did, like the very first sponsored thing we ever did? The first people that really reached out to us was Sheetz, the gas station. They were like, we want you to like go to a Sheetz and dance about our breakfast sandwiches. And we were like, oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll go dance about your breakfast sandwiches.
Because it was like Sheetz, like that's huge.
Right, we were like, come on, Sheetz.
In like my hometown, it's huge here in like North Carolina. Like everybody knows Sheetz, you know what I mean?
And like I think that was the first. Was that the first partnership we did? Was the lamp?
No, Sheetz was first.
Well, I think that was when it like became at least in my mind. I don't want to speak for both of us. Maybe we had two different moments.
You mean the lamps or Sheetz?
No, Sheetz.
Yeah.
But also, like Sheetz was cool. I still feel like when it was Sheetz, we only had like 100,000 followers when we did Sheetz.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because like why would Sheetz want us with 100,000 followers to like dance about their breakfast sandwiches? Sometimes I think about that. What were they doing? But yeah, I think that was like a moment where I was like, wow, maybe this could like be something that could take us somewhere. And I don't know. It took me like a long time to actually think that this would go somewhere. I think. Like, or at least be like sustainable. Like so many people, especially on TikTok, it's like such a different type of algorithm. Like so many people get so big and then you never hear about them again. You know what I mean? It definitely takes like dedication and like originality to be somebody that like gets a lot of followers, but then like continues getting attention, because so many people are just like a couple hit wonders and then you like never see them on the app again.
True.
And so when we had like 500, 600,000 followers, like I still wasn't, and we were doing ads, like you still never know if you're gonna like go out of style as fast as we got into style.
Right.
But I think that we're at a really, really good point now, especially like I feel very connected to the people that follow us, and like we just recognize so many of them. We like know them by name and they comment. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we have a really, really good like support base now that makes me feel like it's like an actual like sustainable thing. Whereas like it's not really like the ads and campaign like money that feels sustainable to me. It's like the people and the base around it.
Right.
Because I mean ads come and go, but people are forever. I'll stop talking now.
Yeah. No,
I agree.
You really have like a community. I feel like you've built a community. Right. You have such a clear. I mean, your dances are so different than what like the TikTok dances are. Like you have energy in your movement. You have big movement. You have complicated stuff. You know, but like people who aren't dancers can still learn that and follow it, which is so cool.
Yeah. I think, I mean, Yeah, I think it was the same for me. Like Sheets was again like such a huge thing in my hometown. Like I just remember like being in high school and like being with your friends and
And
be
like
like,
going to Sheets.
yeah, like let's go for a Sheets run. Like and you like it was like 12:30 at night, like 1 a.m. and you're like running to Sheets to get like snacks and milkshakes and stuff and like I don't know, just like having like a brand like that reach out and be like,
was like
we
so
want you to
cool.
promote us. Was like so cool.
And like promote us with dance. Like they wanted us to dance. I still like we do it on a regular basis now, but I still think it's so cool that like random brands that have nothing to do with dance like want us to promote their brand through dance. Like I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. I feel like that's also TikTok has maybe changed it's definitely changed the dance industry. I feel like it's made dance so much more mainstream and like there's like kids everywhere, there's people everywhere who aren't professional dancers who might have been too afraid to dance, but they do a TikTok dance and it's like they're not scared to do it because it's fun and like it's bringing dance to everyone. I mean, as much as people like trash TikTok and everything, it really is creating dance into the mainstream. It's so cool.
It's such a good thing. I feel like especially so many dancers too. I feel like slam TikTok like being this like as if it's this that we talk this is a topic we talk about a lot, being like industry dancers that are also like now in this like media field.
Yeah, because there's like the TikTok dancers and the real dancers, and it's like
yeah.
It's definitely a topic that like comes up a lot and people like ask our opinion about it a lot. And I'm like, because so many dancers I feel like slam TikTok for like cheapening dance or like the opportunity like just the opportunities that people have to I guess like go viral and get noticed for doing like quote unquote like less impressive things. And that makes a lot of dancers mad, I think. And I get that to an extent, but like to an extent, because I feel like as dancers, if anything, like we have an app that's literally halfway based off of like dance marketing. And like it's encouraging so many people to just like be confident and post themselves dancing. Like half the people that post themselves dancing online would probably you'd never do that on Instagram if TikTok wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's literally crazy, like the confidence people have to like put themselves out there. Like non-dancers do our stuff all the time, and it honestly blows us away how well they do half the time. Go through our mentions, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, these people are killing it!" And to see people that do our choreography on a regular basis and like see them improve. There's this one woman. It's so cool. There's this one woman that was doing our dances as like a postpartum like journey,
weight loss journey,
and she's low-key getting so good. Like we watch her all the time.
She's been going for like 30-40 days or
maybe
something
longer
like
than that by now, but like we hear her all the time because she always like does our stuff and tags us. But like even like just the other day we were like, holy crap, she's literally getting so good. Like you can literally tell she's improving. Like it's so cool to like see people improve and like their confidence growing because they're like putting themselves out there and they're getting a response. Like I think it's awesome.
It is really cool.
And I think as dancers we should do nothing but like hype that up. Like that's awesome.
Like
I mean, personally, I'm terrified to post and learn a TikTok dance. I'm always like, so much props to the people who are like out there, one, learning from a video that's not like slowed down or like mirrored or like, like that is a skill. And then to have the confidence to post it, even if they're just posting it to like 10 people, that's so scary. Like I am so scared of posting like TikTok dances or just anything. I mean, that's a personal problem I need to get over, but like it's so cool that like that is something that people are finding confidence in, because I think that dance is so important for so many other reasons besides the steps.
Yes.
Like, as kids, especially because I teach kids, it's like you learn so much more from dance, whether it's in just your room or in a classroom or when you're older or when you're younger. Like you learn so many skills from dance. It is so important and vital, I think, to the world. And it's clearly something that speaks to everyone. I mean, look at this is a global sensation. People all over the world are learning these dances. So it's like, I think that is so cool.
And it's like such a dance, like that's the whole thing, like the whole reason we were so fascinated just by TikTok in general before we even started posting, because it's like this enigma of like a social media app that's literally like powered by dance.
It's crazy.
Like, especially at the beginning, it was like
Yeah.
all dances like run the show on TikTok. I mean, even now more like obviously now TikTok is so much broader, like you said, like there's candle making talk and this talk and that talk
And cooking
and even like cleaning DIYs. Like there's so much stuff. And like it's literally crazy. But just the fact that dance is such a powerful like voice in that community is insane to me.
I just think it's so important to like just stop the labeling of like real dancers and TikTok dancers.
I know. I even hate when people comment on our posts. Like people like come
this is
on
real dancing
and be like, "Oh my gosh, these TikTok dancers could never do that." And I like hate when people say that on our posts because I would never want to post something and like quote unquote non-dancers feel like they couldn't try
right.
Because first of all, there's no such thing as a non-dancer. Anybody that gets up and moves is a dancer. I mean, there's people that are classically trained and people that aren't. There's people that are like urban style trained, some people that aren't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of different types of dancers and people that are trained and different tracks or different levels and everybody should feel like they can try it. Yeah. And I feel like labeling dancers versus like real dancers versus like TikTok dancers is like such a toxic thing. Yeah. Everybody's a dancer and everyone needs to chill.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's such a good point. What was your first dance that you saw like a lot of people learning and like recreating? Was there like one that just popped off and you were like, oh my god, everyone's doing our choreo?
The first time that happened was, like I said, that first one that went viral was not our choreo. It was like, well, we had tacked on our own choreo to the ending, but it was like somebody else's main trend. And then after that was when we started doing basically all of our own stuff. And the first one that was all our original dance was to a song called Magic in the Hamptons. It was really, really trendy last summer. And it was a song that was super hot on TikTok, and we created a dance to it, and a lot of people did that one. And that was the first time that people were like learning our choreo and like tagging us and like, which was so cool. DCing is like big on TikTok. You know what I mean? It was cool to see.
What does that mean?
It means dance challenge. It's like how TikTok credits people. Like you'll put your caption and you put like DC costume there.
Oh,
I know.
Ooh, I'm learning all the terminology.
It was cool to see like everybody doing our steps and crediting us. Like that video was a moment where we were like, holy crap, so many people
know who we are
doing this video and tagging us.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see people do your own choreo, especially like from all over the world, like the Philippines and like
Australia
and like Dublin, and it's so cool.
It's
really,
so
really
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my god. I mean, I have so many more questions that I could ask you about TikTok, but I want to talk about your other passions outside of dance, outside of TikTok. Like, what are some things? I know, Marideth, you play guitar, but I would love to know a little more about like your other passions, because you are full humans. You do not live on the internet in a little phone on an app. You are real people who have 24 hours in the day. So I'd love to know a little bit more about like what you're passionate about, besides clearly you're very passionate about dance, but
P.S. I'm threading now. I've moved on.
I have finished stabbing, and if I take this off, I don't know how to figure out what holes are what. Like, there's too many holes now, so I'm a little nervous about threading.
I can see mine.
I'm gonna try the threading too, so we'll see what happens.
I say go for it.
I'm having an issue, like my fingers and hands keep getting sweaty, and so trying to push the pin in is getting difficult. Sorry.
Other passions. Since the Pan Demi Lovato started, I got really into watching baking shows. This is lame. Now
Which ones though?
The Great British Baking Show. Yes. Are you obsessed with it?
Yes, I'm obsessed. I love it. I was hoping you were gonna say that.
went through like a whole phase. I only stopped the phase not on my own terms, but because my entire family was like, okay, we've watched through like all 8 collections, like we can't keep watching it. And I was like, you don't want to rewatch the Pies, like just because we've seen it once, it doesn't matter. But everyone
I'll like fall asleep watching them and then have to rewatch because I missed bits.
they're so good. And now I love like making cakes. Me and my pawpaw like make cakes together because like I'm around North Carolina, which has been such a great thing. And yeah, besides making pound cake with pawpaw, yeah, I do play guitar. Here's the thing. My really good guitar, I have another one here, but I'm just staring at her like sad body in the corner. But I actually just got her back like last week because it was in New York, like along with the rest of my stuff. So I haven't been, like, I used to be very, very into playing guitar and like music in general, but I've gotten so like out of it during the pandemic just because I didn't have the guitar that I liked to play. So I really haven't been like as into that recently, even though I will always be so passionate about it. But I've been like making muffins and stuff.
I love that. I love that. You benefit from that too.
I make some like dips too. Back when it was like football season, I would make like game day dips for everybody, which were like also a big hit. Not to shoot my own horn.
They really were though.
But yeah, I've been liking making stuff. Your turn.
I don't even know what I do. What do I do?
You like grilling. We've taken up the culinary art. That looks so good. Are you proud of yourself?
I actually am. My fingers hurt, but I'm proud of it.
Your stabbing is complete?
Yes, just got done.
Wow.
And it's cool, like you can hold it up to the light and like see.
Try to hold it up and see if you can see it.
No, you definitely can't.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I can't, but I'm gonna imagine that it's amazing.
So yeah, I mean, I love, being able to just like help around with the family. I love grilling, like when like her mom needs me to like grill like steaks and chicken. Like I love that. So much fun.
He's really good at it too. Like we had skewers the other night with like grilled pineapple and stuff. So good.
He gets fancy.
He gets fancy, and it's been so great. But yeah, we love playing video games. That's kind of lame.
Yeah, we bought a Wii off Facebook Marketplace like month.
Nice.
And
we played through a bunch of the Lego games. We're like super nerdy.
Nerds.
I love it. I recently got Animal Crossing.
For our 1 year.
I did. I splurged and I got him a Switch.
So we are
kind of more like us. It was like a gift for both of us. But
oh my gosh, you need to get Animal Crossing. That might not be your vibe, but I can give you all the fruits. I can give you a lot of stuff. I can set you up with bells. Come to my island.
No, I played Animal Crossing back in the day, and I agree that I love Animal Crossing. Totally my vibe. But we haven't gotten it because it's not 2-player. And we're like, we love. Oh, I know. 2-player really like kind of limits us. But we like playing together. So we haven't gotten into Animal Crossing quite yet. I just had that out for you so you could thread.
You not doing every...
I'm going to go back.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a good point for the craft. If anyone ever wants to do this, you have to like go double hole kind of if you want it to be like a tight line. You got to do like up through one hole, down through another, and then like up really close to that other hole you just went down. That was a very poor description, but
I might be doing that.
How do you know how much? Oh, that's just a question.
I'm just kind of going rogue on the craft, so just bear with
that. I support that.
Just go rogue. It's abstract art, and no one can tell you that art is wrong.
Yeah, like if you think it's beautiful, it's beautiful.
That's not what my professors told me when I was getting a dance degree. It's what I'm telling you right now.
Literally. Okay, I think I'm gonna pause my threading, but you guys keep going because I want to be able to play our last game, our questions game. Apologies if that was very loud to anyone.
I love it.
So this game is less of a game and more of a mystery. So, we've got these color-coded cards. I'm going to pick one from each category, what are the categories? I can't tell you. I don't know what they are. I loosely color-coded, so we'll see. Sometimes I veto some of them because they're lame, but let's see here. Ooh. Okay, we've got some deep ones. Oh, but I'm vetoing one because we've already done it, so let me get a new.
It doesn't matter.
Ooh, okay. This is good. All right. Pick a color. Any color.
Do you wanna talk about it?
Purple.
What do you love most about yourself?
Fun!
That's a hard one, honestly. At least for me. Maybe that says more about my personal life than I should.
Physically, or like anything about myself, like personality-wise, or like appearance.
Yeah, it could be anything. Anything that is the being that is you.
Are you struggling with the question or with your threading?
Both.
He's got like one thread through one hole, and he just keeps looking at his and then looking at mine, and then looking at his and then looking at mine, and being like,
But how do I know how much thread to use? Sorry.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
it's okay.
It'll be fine.
Because you can always restart from the back if you run out of thread.
It'll be fine.
I don't get
It's
it,
attached to your other side. Just go ham. Just stick it right here and then pull it back through and then in and then out. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. My favorite thing about myself is I'm just like a diehard eternal optimist. Like I pride myself on being like okay in every situation. Like I'm never like super stressed that I like won't be okay. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I'm like, even if all this is like totally like hitting the fan, like I'll still probably be all right. You know what I mean? Like I think that my favorite thing about myself is like, what's the word for it? Like ability to bounce back.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a concise word for that, but it's lost.
Yeah, I feel like it's lost in my brain too. It's on the tip of my tongue. It'll fly into my head in like 10 minutes, and I'll just blurt it out while we're talking about something else.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think that I like my optimism / humor like carries me through a lot of like not so cute situations. I'd probably say that was my favorite thing about me.
Nice. I love that.
That's really tough.
It is tough.
That is really, really tough.
You got it.
I don't know if I do.
I feel like I'm not allowed to help you. Or that'd be cheating.
Maybe you could give like
Okay,
some
I
options.
think I have it.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
think I honestly love that, like how, like I just feel like I really like to like put people before me and like put what they need or what they may like want like before what I think I need or want.
He's definitely really, really good. I can attest to that. He's very, very giving.
I just like to, I guess for lack of better words, I just like to make sure that everybody else is okay before like I can sit down and make sure like I want to make sure that everybody has what they need at the dinner table before I sit down to have the dinner. Like, you know.
I was gonna say, I know that you guys are big into breakfast, and I feel like that's something that I feel shows exactly that quality, because I feel like you're like always like master breakfast maker. I hear. I hear through the social internets of that.
We are obsessed with it. You heard right.
Okay, next color.
Oh.
Go Rogan, just pick one.
Orange.
Ooh, okay. If you could change your first name, what would you change it to? Whoa.
Oh my gosh. I always think that I could pull off like a boy name really well. Boy lack of better term. Like a gender neutral name.
Right, like Like Elliot or something like.
Or like Ryan or like Jordan or like some sort of gender neutral name. I've never been like, I don't know. I just feel like one of those names could have suited me a little bit better. I feel like Meredith is like a very like prissy name almost. I don't know. Not that it doesn't like fit me because I feel like it does fit me, especially the way I spell it kind of weird. I guess is like more me. But just the
Yeah.
name in general, like I feel like that's always like I also grew up with The Parent Trap being my favorite movie, and Meredith was like the prissy antagonist, and so that always like kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, I don't want to share a name with her. That's so not me. But yeah, I feel like I would pick like a boy name,
I could see it. I could see it.
boy for lack of a better term, because I
Right.
feel like
Because
these
what
days,
is gender is a construct. Like
right. But for lack of a better,
every.
just like one of those neutral names.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, like Jesse. Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
of like Full House or something. Which is
Right.
funny that you said Ryan because we have Ryan in the audience who's also obsessed with Bake Off.
Oh my
And she's
gosh,
actually
hello.
she's gonna be a guest actually coming up. So
love
very
it.
cool. Very cool. Austin, what about you? What would you pick?
What would I change my name to? I guess not what I would change it to, but
Side note, my parents always told me that if I was a boy, my name would have been Carter Bryce. And I always tell them, like, why didn't you name me that anyway? That is such a cool name, and it would have been so cool for a girl that they
Yeah.
didn't name me that. And I just think that Carter Bryce would have been, like, a cool name that I would have pulled off really well, and they robbed me of it.
I love that.
I don't know. Why have I never thought of that before?
You've always
really-
identified as an Austin.
He just doesn't even think about it.
I just don't.
But, like a couple months ago, I was randomly just like, why did your parents name you Austin? Like, is it a family name? And he was like, no,
Yeah.
it's not a family name. And I was like, well, why'd they name you that? And he was like, I don't know.
Well, also,
And I was like, you've never asked? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
well, also, here's the thing. All of my brothers and sisters, all of our names start with the letter A. Like,
Ooh.
I'm Austin, my younger brother is Andrew, and my youngest sister is Elena. Shout out to
Oh. Yeah, shout out to the fam.
But, I mean, I guess just after my mom named my sister Alyssa, she was just like, let's go
Let's
with
just roll with
A's.
that.
Like, why not? We're here, aren't we? And so
Yeah.
the A's kind of stuck. So,
You could be Adam. I guess if
Yeah.
you're keeping A names.
right. I think that's where I
Yeah.
immediately go. It's like something
You
else.
could go with like Ashley, but for a boy. There's like,
Or
like
Ashton. He could totally pull off
Ashton.
Ashton
you could
I
pull off Ashton.
like Ashton.
for a boy. I like that
I
too.
like Ashton. That's
Yeah.
cool. People call
Very
me Ash,
cool.
like from Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. And then they'd be like, gotta catch them all.
So,
I love it. Sold. All right, you're Ash. Okay, next color.
You pick, I pick.
pink.
What is your culinary specialty? That's kind of, we already kind of talked about these,
That's so
but
relevant.
I'm a
so
gorilla.
relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah, Austin's definitely a griller. A griller.
a gorilla. Is it? I don't even know.
I think that I err on the side of baking. I'm really good at making like no flour, no sugar, like clean muffins that still taste really, really good.
Oh, interesting.
I also love making like my own homemade granola.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I'm really into that right now.
So good.
So like baked goods, I would say, like granola, healthy muffins, stuff like that.
Nice. All right, last one of these questions. Ooh, it's a deep one for the last one. What is
Well-
one thing you regret having done or not done in life? So I guess you could pick something you regret doing or something you regret not doing, which is a big question.
That's a good one though.
It is.
I would. You answer first. I feel like I'm a literal bulldozer when we do like podcast
Well,
interview, and I'm like, I think this,
bulldoze
I
through.
think that, blah blah blah.
That's
I never give you a
fine.
chance. I will probably go to my grave saying this, but I used to play the saxophone. I used to be like super, super passionate about it. And I was low-key really, really good at it. And all of my teachers were like, you could go so far and like you could be so great and like if you really stuck at this because I just like had a lot of natural talent for like reading the music. Like I played clarinet for a long time. I played a lot of instruments, random fact. But I was like really, really like I excelled a lot at like alto saxophone and I was really passionate about it. I still am really passionate about it and I wish I still played because saxophone music like feeds my soul. And I just love it so much and I had a lot of potential, but I was at like I was younger, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like what the cool girls were doing.
Yeah.
And I gave it up because I was like, nah, like I'd rather go out with the cheer squad because like the nerdy boys like played instruments, you know what I mean? And like I didn't want to like sacrifice my time to like rehearse for the jazz band instead of like be a cute cheerleader, you know what I mean? And I always regret that because I really was like so passionate about it and I think that I could have like probably but maybe I don't regret it because if I was like some sort of musician then we wouldn't even be sitting here like on a podcast talking about life and I probably would have never met you and what would that have been? You know what I mean? Like so maybe I don't like regret it, but I always feel sad that I gave that up because deep down I gave it up for the wrong reasons. Like I didn't want to give it up. I just did it because it wasn't cool. And I always thought that was like dumb of me.
Yeah.
It's funny that you were like you said something about like an instrument. Like I was gonna say I wish that, and this is probably gonna sound like so like minuscule and probably not as deep as we were looking for. But I wish I would have like, and I mean I guess I could still, but like when I like talking about how I first started dancing, like I was a triple threat. Like I actually did like kind of like take my like, singing seriously, and like I worked at it. Like I was in chorus, I was in concert choir, like I was taking voice lessons when I was in high school, and
he gave up on being a theater boy.
I really did, but like I low key love theater, like
actually,
I really do.
When we first started dating in the city, I was trying to con him into going to take Al Blackstone with me for so long.
He was
because you know me, like I'm kind of a theater queen on the side, like.
Yeah.
Like I just be like running around in my labucas when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
And I love taking theater class so much. And I used to always be like, come on, you used to do the shows, like come take class with me, like come on. And he never would.
I just feel like I lost it and I wasn't about to go into like Broadway Dancer theater class.
You could totally, especially I feel like for guys, like, unfortunately, maybe fortunately for you, like you can start the theater dance late. Like that is something, especially if you already are talented at dancing and singing, if you had it, you can get it back. I support that. And Meredith, I think you should start the saxophone again because my dad actually is a saxophone player. So saxophone, it's a sign that you should get that sax out, get that horn out and start honking it.
True.
You could do a saxophone theater show.
Oh, don't even
write a Tik Tok musical. Those are things, right?
They are a thing.
A saxophone musical about a boy who's a triple threat. I think it would take off.
Oh my gosh, not about a boy who's a triple threat.
Please no.
Well, the very last question that I ask everyone is, what brings out your most creative self?
You first again. I bulldoze.
My most creative self. What does?
I don't know. Do you want me to go first?
Maybe.
I would definitely say like this sounds stupid, but like taking a break. Like I'm like a toxic workaholic and the pandemic has helped me a lot in this way because it kind of forced me to slow down and like take a step back. But I don't know. I definitely don't like I have all of my Capricorn sisters and brothers out there, like you guys know, we just can't stop working. And I just like put a lot of pressure on myself. But I produce crap stuff when I do that. And like it's like this toxic cycle of like producing nonsense because I don't feel like it, but then like forcing myself to do it because you know what I mean? Like it's just I feel like a lot of dancers are like that because we have to like fight our way through everything so much. But just like slowing down, kind of like you were saying when we were talking off camera earlier, just like being a human because you can't if you're not a human first, then you have nothing to like make art about. And that's kind of like when people ask me about my backstory of like starting dance a little bit later in life and how I feel about that and is it ever challenging that I don't have like technique and blah blah blah. And I always felt like, especially when I was like at the end of high school, getting into college, like when all of the other dancers that had been dancing since they were like 2 were like burning out, they like hated it. And I was like so passionate about it. And I had so much to like dance about because I was like an angsty teen. But they didn't know how to do that because they'd been dancing since they were 2. And that's what dancing was to them. And I fully like I was a fully grown human being before I even like considered dancing for the first time. I wasn't like a dancer before I considered like human experience for the first time. Like I didn't like identify as like dancer. I identified as like a person who was just like giving it a shot. And like that, I think that's really a long way for me, like in my dance career, because I can always slow down and be like, okay, I realize that I'm being a workaholic right now, but like I'm a person first. And like it has always served me well to like acknowledge the fact that I am and always have been a person before I'm a dancer. So I like have to serve that first, that you have something to dance about. So like taking a break and taking a step back really, really like helps me. And just like letting myself do fun things, like go out on like a date instead of like doing the rest of our work, or like hang out with my mom even though I'm too busy to, or like walking the dogs, or like doing little things that just like make me happy, make me so much more, like make me love what I do more.
Mic drop. That was great.
Thanks. Your turn.
Honestly, I think this is gonna sound so cheesy, but it's just the fact that like I have a really, really, really incredible person to like be creative with, and it just I don't know, like
Aww.
it's different when you're like when you like I just remember like being like those times that I was like maybe alone in my apartment, like trying to like come up with choreography and like I mean Bex used to be my roommate, like when Bex maybe wasn't home and like I was just kind of there like trying to create or trying to like even freestyle or just listen to music and just like come up with stuff. Like it's just so hard when you're like in a space like and just knowing and being aware that you're alone. But like literally this past year, it's like been such a different like experience because when I do get that feeling of like, like people call it like choreo block or like whatever, like when that happens, like I have someone that like will kind of keep that creative juice like flowing and like even supply it like when I don't have it at all. Like, we all have those days, like mental health is beyond important. And a lot of us have experienced that in this past year because our lives were literally turned upside down. And so just having that, like that right person that's like next to you and with you, like trying to like, do those things with you and, I don't know, just be creative with you because, like I know in my heart that she's just as passionate about it as I am. And like that just makes like this job that we do, it's not even a job, like it's not work, it's so much fun that we get to like literally create for a living. That's so cool. And the fact that like I have like this one to do it with is
that's so true. Like that is cheesy, but like every time we talk about this and people ask us about block and like how we, especially because we're putting out choreo at like such a high volume, like we crank it out like there's no tomorrow. People are like, how do you just like keep coming up with new stuff?
But like not even choreo, like concepts and ideas. And, like, different way to portray choreography that like nobody has seen yet on TikTok. And
people ask us about that a lot because we have to do it so often. But we always say like it's because we do it together. Like I have no idea how people do that stuff solo. Like if you're a solo like artistic content creator, like go all the way off. Literally. Like I feel like I could never do it without you. Like we help each other so much. I have no idea how like what we would do if we weren't doing it together, because we would be like, we wouldn't even lost. Like we couldn't even do it.
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we wouldn't be doing it at all. Quite honestly,
yeah.
Like to think about that. Like if we didn't have each other, we
Seems
wouldn't
so
be
silly.
doing it.
Yeah.
You know, doing this whole TikTok, creator thing at all, and it's just so crazy. But
yeah. I love that. That's so great. I love both of those answers. Were really awesome. And I think it's one of my favorite questions to ask people, because it does seem that there are reoccurring themes, and both of those are ones that people have, taking breaks, taking time for yourself, and then also having like a creative partner, someone to bounce energy off. Like it's so important. It just proves that like your environment and your human self is the most important thing. So I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so where can people find you if people don't, if they're not one of the 1.3 million people who already know you? Where can people find you if they want to get in touch?
Well, all of our handles are the same. It's all at cost, like how much does that purse cost, _mayor, like the mayor of your town.
Cost N.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't even
what? Literally gets our own music. You say it.
It's cost, like how much does that cost, _ the letter N, _ and mayor, MAYOR.
Mayor. It's so funny that we always say, like, you say mayor.
You say mayor
of
your
like, town.
I
but
guess
like
when you're...
we can't say mayor because that
like
we're always like mayor.
Mayor.
Because I feel like people might spell it wrong.
Right. It's that on TikTok, Instagram.
The whole.
We recently plug. We recently just started a YouTube because YouTube is starting like this shorts.
All we have on it is shorts.
And they're all shorts, but we're eventually gonna venture into like actual maybe process videos.
Oh,
and,
are we? Tell me more.
I love it. Welcome to the YouTube fam. Everyone subscribe.
Oh, he's really putting it out there. I hope
I love it. Speak it into existence.
Why not?
I'd love to hear more about all the things we're gonna do on YouTube.
It's a work in process.
Amazing. And YouTube is also cost N mayor as well.
Yeah. As well as Snapchat. We just
and Snapchat.
We're really broadening our horizons recently.
Yes. Are you guys on Clubhouse? Are you guys on Twitter?
Oh my gosh, we're not on Clubhouse, but is that cool?
I have like 100 invites I can send you on.
Okay.
Like, I've got the hookup.
We don't know how the whole Clubhouse
works. It's a crazy world. I don't understand it. It's scarier than TikTok for me, so good luck out there if you're on Clubhouse.
We hear about it everywhere.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, if you would like to find me, my personal Instagram is Haley Grove, and definitely check out the Instagram for Dancers Doing Stuff, which is the show that you're watching right now. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Essentially Haley, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I'm at 232 right now, so I got a little ways to go, but definitely if you like this, if you like crafts, if you like dance, subscribe, like this video, share it with your mom, and you can also find the Instagram Dancers Doing Stuff, and the recent new thing is the Patreon. We have 2 amazing patrons, so shout out to Sophie and Karen. Thank you so much for supporting the show. The Patreon's really cool because we have extra little perks and all these fun things. I won't go into it now, but the thing that I'm most excited about for the Patreon is once we get 100 patrons, I'm going to be donating $1 per patron every month to a dancer who has a creative project that needs help getting funded. So whether that's a concept video or a studio rental, or you want to pay your dancers, or you want to get them some really good snacks, just anything that I can do to give back to the dance community and create a community that is about giving and creating in a healthy, nice way. So definitely check out all those things.
So incredible.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. But with that, I'm gonna just keep threading away. I'll post a picture if I ever finish this. Hopefully it doesn't look like garbage. I'm excited to see yours. It looks like you guys are like really making some progress. Okay, that looks legit. I see some eyeballs and a chin.
Just
I've got
lips.
some lashes. Your lips are good though. Show them. Oh,
Can't even see it.
Oh yeah. Oh, those lips are great.
we're gonna get somewhere.
We will.
Yeah,
Once
I believe in you.
gain
I
the
believe in
confidence.
you. Awesome. Well, have a great night. Thank you for chatting with me. And
Thanks for having us. We've had the best.
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night, everybody.